everyone, Megan here from Modern Genealogy. Last week I shared a video for those of you who are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and who would like to set up your Ancestry account that we have access to through that membership. Now, using Ancestry is a great idea for anyone who is serious about doing family history work. So FamilySearch has a collaborative tree. That means that anyone can work on it, anyone can change information or delete information or whatever. On Ancestry, the trees that people can put on there are different. People can only change their own trees, or if they give access to someone to work on a tree together, you can do that as well. When you have a tree on Ancestry, you can either have it a private tree or a public tree. When it is a public tree, people can only see those who have been deceased on your tree. So even though it's public, they can't see any information for any living people. Now, there's a few reasons that it is a great idea to have a tree on Ancestry. The first is to collaborate. Now, I would say most people who are not members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and are interested in family history work and genealogy, they are going to have a tree on Ancestry. And there are thousands of people who have done research on different people all over the world. And chances are there's someone who has researched your own ancestors. So if you have access to trees on Ancestry, you can look at other people's trees and see if they have information about your ancestors. But having your own tree on there kind of helps get other people to find out about you, and then you can start working on things together. Another reason to have your tree on Ancestry is if you've done DNA. If you've taken an AncestryDNA test, having your tree on there is vital to be able to connect to other people who share your DNA and to be able to figure out how you're related. The last reason we should put our tree onto Ancestry is for the hints. Just like on FamilySearch, how there are record hints, on Ancestry there are ancestry hints that lead us to records on Ancestry that could be for your ancestors. We know that not all records are on FamilySearch. So FamilySearch record hints just are hints for those records that are on FamilySearch. Ancestry hints are for those records that are held by Ancestry. So now that we know the reasons why we would want to put our tree onto Ancestry, how do we do it? Well, luckily Ancestry has a pretty simple way for us to connect our FamilySearch tree to our Ancestry tree. I'm going to show you how to do that here. All right, so here I am logged into Ancestry. I'm actually on my daughter's account. And if you click on trees here, you can import your tree from FamilySearch. So you can choose if you want to have people be able to view your tree. I recommend doing that if you do have DNA on there, or if you want to collaborate with people. It's always great to have your tree public. People will not be able to see living people in your tree. So similar to FamilySearch, how you can see other people in the tree, but you can't see anyone living. So then you would just click Save, and it would import your tree. And it's just doing 4 generations of your tree into Ancestry, not your entire tree, even though that would be great. If you could do like 15 generations, that would be awesome. But you can just do 4 generations at a time. So that's going to upload there. I've actually already done it, so I'm going to show you the tree that is here now. And it has my daughter and then 4 more generations. Now, if you want to add more people to your tree, you have to click on one of the end of the line people there that do not have their parents in there, one of the 4 generations at the end. And you would just click on this FamilySearch tree here, and then click on Add Relatives from FamilySearch. And then you can add up to 4 more generations for that person, so that will extend that line 4 more generations. So that is a great way to do it. It is a little time consuming if you want to have a lot of people in your tree. So you can see here with my great-grandfather, it has all these sources that were in his FamilySearch profile are transferred to Ancestry. Now I want to show you, if we click on the hints here in Ancestry, to show you how if we attach a record, or if we find a record for our ancestor in Ancestry, how can we get that back on to FamilySearch as well? So I'm just going to look at the hints for my great-grandfather here. And these are ancestor member trees, other people that have him in their tree that you can look through. There's also some pictures added. But here we go. Here's a Find a Grave index record for DOE Herbert Fries. And if you click on this quick compare, you can just quickly compare to who's in your tree and just see how it's the same. So we're going to review that. And then since I've already looked at that, I know that this is the correct record. Say yes. And then this is kind of similar to in FamilySearch, how when you attach a record, you do the same kind of thing. So the information on the left is the information from the record. Information on the right is from the person in our tree. So we can just check these boxes for things that we want to add over. Okay, so I'm just going to add the burial place. Now this Find a Grave record had information about his parents in there. So if you want to attach that to his parents as well, you could also do that. But I'm not going to add that because that information wasn't on the headstone. That is just information that someone has put in to Find a Grave, but it's not really part of the record. So we're going to save that to our tree, and then I'm going to show you how you can get that onto FamilySearch. So now when we click on the facts here, it will show that source that we just added, this Find a Grave. Okay, but now I want to show you how you can sync that to FamilySearch. So it doesn't do it automatically. You have to do it manually. So you would click on this FamilySearch tree again, click on Compare Person on FamilySearch, and this will show the information in FamilySearch for him. This is the information on our tree in Ancestry. So the sources are all at the bottom, so we can look at that. So here you can see that these sources are already synced. They're already on both. But there should be this one at the bottom. That was not. So if we just click on that, it will move that all over to FamilySearch. So then we just click Save Changes. And then I'm going to show you in FamilySearch where that record is. So let's go to him in my daughter's account on FamilySearch. Click on him there, and let's see if that is showing up. So when we click on sources, we can look through and look, here's the one added today, and we can view that source. Now it doesn't add any information besides just the link to the record. So when we click on that, it just opens it up into Ancestry. So that's really not ideal, but it's better than nothing. So if that's all you can do, then that's great. Okay, it shows that it's also saved to the tree on Ancestry as well. So now that that's over there, you could add more information. If you just click on add, you can enter the date. You would have to look at the record and figure that all out. So really it doesn't save you much time as far as adding a source if you're wanting to actually go through and add information in there. But it's a quick way to sync the record, and then maybe you can do that later when you have time. All right, now something to be aware of when you do add these 4 generations. So the initial 4 generations that you add, so let's go back to that D.O. Herbert Fries. When you add these initial 4 generations, it includes their children as well. When you add additional 4 generations, it does not include all their children. So you see here it has a spouse, Maud May Nielsen, and their 4 children all listed there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to that tree and see how I expanded those 4 generations and see what it lists there. Okay, so here's the 4 additional generations. Let's just click on this John Fries here and take a look at if it has their children there too. So it does not add all of their children here. All right, so if you would like to add all of their children in there, you would just do the same thing. Click on this FamilySearch tree, add relatives from FamilySearch, and you have to add each of these one at a time. So he had an additional spouse. I think that might actually just be incorrect, but we're just going to add one child at a time. Okay, so you make sure you add it to that same mother, and then that has an additional child. So that is quite tedious to be able to have to add each additional child one by one, and then to add each 4-generation group separately. But it's better than nothing. Obviously, I hope that Ancestry and FamilySearch work something out to make it a little bit easier. Another thing with those additional 4 generations that you add, it does not transfer the sources over, at least not in my experience here. So when I go back to that tree, maybe it takes a while for it to process. I'm hoping that's what it is. But when I click on someone in this first set of 4 generations that I imported when we set up my daughter's Ancestry account, it transferred these sources over. But when I go back to that tree and look at the additional 4 generations that I added, if I click on one of them here and go to profile, I know that she has a ton of sources in FamilySearch. But yeah, here on Ancestry, there are no sources transferred over, which is so sad. I hope it just takes a while for that to process. But if we compare the person on FamilySearch, we can add the sources over. Okay, so if we scroll down to sources, we can click on each of these boxes and can transfer those over to our Ancestry tree. Now, why does it even matter if we have these sources on there? If it's a private tree, really doesn't matter. If they're a public tree and other people are going to be viewing our tree and maybe getting information from them, it is great to have sources there just so that they can be sure of things being correct and they can trust your information. So we're just going to transfer all of those over and save. And then that should transfer those sources over. And I'm just going to show you what those sources look like now in Ancestry. Okay, so now it has these all here. When I click on one of them, it'll just depend on what the source is to be able to view it. So this just links to the record in FamilySearch. If I click on that link, then it will take me to the FamilySearch page where that record was. Okay, so now when I go back to that tree, you can minimize those extensions there, and then you can just start adding more. To add it, you have to click on the end of the line person there, go to their profile, and again, click on this FamilySearch tree, add relatives, and add up to 4 generations for that person. Okay, so it is quite a laborsome activity if you're wanting to get the bulk of your tree into FamilySearch. Obviously, your tree in FamilyTree could go back very many generations, and you might not want to add that many into Ancestry. But it is a good idea to add a few in there just to help other people out and to better match with people for your DNA. And another thing is now you have all these record hints that are on Ancestry, so you can click on them and review those 29 Ancestry hints and then see if they're new things. A lot of them are from public member trees, but that can lead you to collaborate with other people. Maybe you can find some new pictures that then you can put those into FamilySearch. Unfortunately, those do not transfer. Those don't sync together, which is kind of sad because there's lots of pictures in FamilySearch on my memories that you have to just put them in one by one. But you can look through those hints and see what information you can find. Maybe you'll find some new stuff. So setting up your tree in Ancestry is a great idea. All right, so that is how you can put your tree from FamilySearch into Ancestry. I know it's not an ideal way to do it, but it is better than nothing, and it will get you started at least to have something in Ancestry to collaborate with other people, to connect with your DNA, and to find some record hints. I will be showing another way that I was able to get 42,000 names from FamilySearch into Ancestry in a future YouTube video, so stay tuned for that. And just thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe this video and share with your friends. I would love to see you over at Instagram and Facebook, and send me your questions there or comment on this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.